a little bit of we got to do it. Not too early, but too early. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and a little Rookie of the Year talk as well. Couple of players. I think as far as the MVP goes, we were talking a little bit earlier off camera. No one's really given a sophisticated or steady lead as far as the MVP goes. We still got a lot of ball left, but um, let me ask you, Taji, if you had to put your money in the FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever platform we're using nowadays, if you had to put decent amount of bread on an MVP right now to lock one in, who would it be and why? I need to know.
Okay. So we're still early, like you said. As we were talking before, it's no one standing out. Nobody's the guy. There's no
Right.
favorite, no front runner right now. Um, if I was gonna put my money in the pot, I'd pick between Josh Allen, because I always think Josh Allen's gonna have a big year. I always am betting on him to do something good.
Right.
And he usually does, usually starts pretty good, but he hasn't had the run that he needs to be in that conversation. They got people passing him in the conversation now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's taking it personal. I think the Bills are taking it personal. I've been waiting for them to go, for them
Yeah.
to have the run. And if he can have an MVP season, he can lead them there. He can get them over that hump. So if he is in that mode, which he might be, they played the Finns who dropped 70 the week before and then came out and
Right.
blew them out.
Yeah.
So they could be on something. He played great against you guys. He only looked bad week one. So Josh, and since no one's standing out, I got to put my boy Jalen Hurts into the mix. I got to put one in the mix. I think our team's going to win games. He's going to
Yeah.
continue to lead us. He's going to continue to keep going on the upward trajectory that he's on. And as long as we keep winning and the teams we're playing, um,
Right.
and he keeps balling, because I think his numbers are gonna start getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the years going on. You see his numbers improving as they go. And he's starting to take a little bit more chances with the ball sometimes, which I like. On third down, throw it up, give him a
Right.
chance. He always gives his receivers a chance, but third down, he don't care about the pick.
Yeah.
I like that. So that can get him some more yards. Our games will be more competitive, so that'll get him more yards. Last year he got pulled out of most games by the third, fourth quarter, missed some games. So I think his numbers are going to be really good this year, and I think we're going to win a lot of games. And we're just hitting our stride, and that'll
Mm-hmm.
put him back in the MVP contention.
I like that. I like that. I didn't think Jalen Hurts, but like you said, your guys is the NFC East as a whole. Our schedule is not ideal. So if y'all keep stacking wins like y'all are, and he's knocking people out, he's got to be in the conversation. If not, they're just doing what they always do.
Yeah.
Um, Josh Allen, I like as well. I felt like if I were to look at FanDuel right now and see who is first in the running, it should probably be Josh Allen, just
Yeah.
because of they're gonna give it to a quarterback for one, and two, he's out of all the QBs, you could argue that he's doing this at the right time to where by the end of the year his stats and their record should be MVP worthy. I like that. If I had to put my bread into FanDuel and give a lock of an MVP, even though, like I said, they ain't giving it to running backs, but I feel like I'd be a fool if I didn't say Christian McCaffrey. If I didn't say that Christian McCaffrey wasn't the most valuable player right now in the league, I'd be I'd be lying to you.
There.
Going into week 5, he has 459 rushing yards on 80 attempts and 6 rushing touchdowns. Let me see. Let me pull up his receiving. I know that he's
Going
spazzing, bro.
insane.
He's absolutely spazzing. And one thing I will say, and we talked about this in our first pod going into the season, the responsibility Purdy has with that roster. It's not that big of a responsibility. But at the same time, Purdy has shown that he is capable of winning you games, which is, I think, the difference between a game manager and an elite quarterback. Can you go out and win your team games? I think he's shown that he can do it. Not saying that he has to do it with this roster, but he's shown that he can. Um, I might be a little bit biased. I do have C-Mac on 2 of my 4 fantasies this year. So I am reaping the benefits, 4 pockets full. Don't get me wrong. But I just think he is playing out of control. Running game, passing game. You can give him the ball and you can almost guarantee he's going to give you something great. Not good, but something great. And I think that is as valuable as he gets. Let's keep it moving though. I like that.
I like that pick.
Who would your offensive player of the year be? It's kind of, we're only 5 weeks in. The run-ins as of right now are kind of somewhat in the same. But if you had an offensive player of the year right now, Taji, who would it be and why?
C-Mac is on my list of that for all the reasons you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person who I truly think could beat him out for it or will be second place to him is Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek's going for 2,000 this year. I think he's going to score 10 touchdowns plus. It's his year. Tua's going to get him the ball. Tua stays healthy. He might break the receiving record. He's going for it. He's special, and he is like the most electric player I've ever seen on a football field. Like speed wise, acceleration in the small space, get back to top speed. It's unbelievable to watch. It's like
crazy.
He's like the little kid when you were kids that was just faster than everybody.
Yes.
And people couldn't catch him. And you see when you get to the league, that dies down. You'll have your plays where you outrun, but it's not consistently where you're literally scaring these men with your speed as if you're kids again.
Yes.
And it's unbelievable to watch. So I got Tyreek as my OPOY.
I love that. Tyreek's a dog, man. I like that. Me personally, I feel like I got to put his quarterback there, though, just because I think that we didn't see it last week, just because I felt it was a statement game for the Bills last week. I just think the Bills just wanted to show that, yeah, y'all had 70 the week beforehand, but we're still the big brothers type of situation. But I think Mike McDaniel, the way that he schemes up that offense, and like you said, you have 2 burners in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. All Tua has to do is just get it to him, and they're gonna take a 1-99. I like their chances every time. As of right now, like I said, aside from Sam Howell's performance last night, Tua would be first in the league in passing yards with 1,306. He has 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The sack count is surprisingly low, which is what we love to see because he's got to stay healthy, bro. Like I'm a very big Tua fan. I always have been. A couple of, you know me, I don't sleep well. So I was looking at a couple of our old podcasts, and I remember we did the conversation, who were you taking, Tua, Herbert, or Burrow? You took Burrow. My boy Nicky, shout out to Nick. He took Herbo, and I took Tua, just because I just wanted to see what we said. Just to make sure, just to make sure that I was a Tua fan. Like I had to keep my receipt. I'm like, I rocked with him. But
I like my pick too.
No, yeah, you couldn't go wrong with that one at all. I like it, but I just had to bring that up because I think that it's easy to say all Tua has to do is get them the ball, but at the same time, I think he's a very good quarterback, and I think a lot of teams would be happy to have him as their quarterback. And I think that with Mike McDaniel's scheme, having the people he has in that arsenal, he should have some very, very good stats come the end of the season, to the point where he should be in that OPOY contention.
I agree. I like that. You were always a Tua guy. I used to like Tua back in Bama when him and Kyler Murray. I remember we'd always argue about that.
Yes.
And I was always on the Tua side as well with you, but no one else really was.
Right.
So yes, he's talented. He has the arm. He's got it all. And he gets kind of overlooked, and they kind of talk him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I kind of got on board with talking him down a little bit because they weren't good. And
right.
They weren't good. But now he's looking like him again. He's putting the ball on the money. Mm-hmm. And it's not a bad pick at all, especially if they give the MVP to C-Mac.
Right.
They got to go wide to a quarterback.
Yeah. If we're being realistic here,
right,
C-Mac's a lock for OPOY as of right now. You just take that to the bank. But if things were to get interesting and they were to actually like call it how they see it, quite frankly, I think C-Mac gets the MVP and Tyreek gets I'm not Tyreek, Tua gets the OPOY. Let's keep it moving though. I put a couple of people down for DPOY just because it's early on. It's kind of hard for the DPOY unless you just have a Trayvon Diggs with 4 picks in 4 weeks, or say Gilmore a couple of years back. Like he was all over socials just shutting down. I want to give a person first on this one. DPOY. It's just me being the old linebacker in me. I would love to see it happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think he's playing top tier ball. And if it wasn't for dudes like Fred Warner doing demon-like activity every single week, he would be up there. But I love Matt Milano, bro. On the Bills, that dude is a baller. Like, as far as side to side and running through gaps, he is a playmaker. He's just a playmaker. He's got 30 total tackles going into week 5, 2 interceptions. If you remember, I can't remember who it was against, but he bagged the bull for a touchdown a couple of weeks ago. I think it was I don't remember. It was crazy. It was like on a running back flat, and he straight up goes over top him and grabs it. I'm like, dag, that was sweet. Just as a linebacker, I was happy to see that. That's my fantasy pick. If I had to realistically pick someone, though, as of right now, I think it's Khalil Mack, bro, is kind of doing his thing right now. He had 6 sacks last week. I think a lot of that has to do with it was a rookie quarterback out there. Yeah, 1 shy of record, which is just he's still, I don't know how old he is exactly. It's not worth Googling, but he's still playing top tier ball. And I think if we had to pick someone right now, or someone who's head of the conversation, I'd say it's Khalil Mack. 19 overall tackles, 6 sacks last week, like I said. Anyone else you're thinking of there at DPOY? Talk to me, Taji.
Well, Mike has had a lot of talk all year about being DPOY. So he's in the conversation. But for me, I'm picking TJ Watt. I think for whatever reason, I think he gets his respect, but he doesn't get his respect as the best defensive player in the league. I don't know why. He is an animal. I think every time I watch the kid, he stands out on film.
Yes.
Ever since he was in college, I'd watch Wisconsin games because Corey Clement would play for Wisconsin from my school. So we'd watch Wisconsin game.
Yeah.
And TJ Watt was on his team and he'd be balling. I'm like, I didn't even know there was another Watt.
Right.
See what he does. I think he hears that everybody else, they always trying to put Micah above him or Aaron Donald above him or whoever, Chris Jones, whatever they want to put above him. I think he hears it. He almost broke the sack record and missed games, or he tied the sack record and missed games. He hears it. He's coming for it, I think. And I think he's going to keep balling. He's balling this year. He's a game wrecker. He's a definition of a game wrecker. And I think he's hungry, and I think he's going to win DPOY.
I love that pick, honestly. Sadly, there's shout out to Peter. There's not really much positivity going on in Pittsburgh right now. You got to call it how you see it, but TJ Watt, he could put a smile on any Pittsburgh fan's face, that's for sure. Dog, like you said, game record. You said all the right stuff. I would not be surprised if he took that home, no doubt at all, because he talking about someone who brings it every week, every single play. His motor is just insane. He's a dog and still young, so he's gonna be doing this for a while. We can talk rookie of the year. I think that it's clear cut as of right now. Is there anyone who you think could sneak in front of CJ Stroud? I think it belongs to CJ right now.
I think right now I got Puka Nacua as my
okay.
Right in this very moment.
Yeah.
I do. He's going crazy.
Like it.
He's going crazy right now. You see his numbers, but I got him right now. CJ Stroud's got to keep it together. He's got to play this way the whole year. I don't know. They're 2-2. It's not like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he does. I'm not looking at him like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and all them when they were putting
right.
as rookies. He's not looking like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking good, and he's got D'Amico Ryan's first year head coach. They gotta start. They got a good thing going over there.
Right.
But I need to see more before I'm ready to be sold on CJ Stroud, as everyone is.
I like
But
it.
that's for all the quarterbacks. I just need to see more of the rookies. That's it. I
I
don't buy in
agree.
quick.
No, that's worthy. I like Puka. I wanted to put him there first, but I just truly think that once Cup's back in the mix, it's not going to be the same volume, so it's going to be hard for him to stay in contention.
I think he still does well, but I don't think. Yeah,
Right,
I get
right.
the at all.
Speaking a little bit on the rookie quarterbacks, you might as well touch on it a little bit. I mean, I saw there was a staggering stat. I think it was after week 2, the comparison between Bryce Young, his stats when he's unpressured and his stats when he's pressured. And it's so staggering, like to night and day type of numbers, multiple touchdowns, high completion percentage, over 200 something yards. It sucks to see. It's kind of one of those situations where I'm scared for him, to where he's not the biggest dude in the world. We know he's a warrior, he's a soldier, but you got to protect that man. And they just quite simply don't have the capabilities to do so right now. To the point where I almost want to ask, like, do we put this dude in the storage bin and wait? Because I don't really think you'll get a player to his caliber in another 10 plus years. Unless you guys lose every single game, you're not getting Caleb Williams because you gave that pick to the Bears. So it's not like you could redo it again next year. I can't really say they definitively have a good enough weaponry around him. I love Booby in the RB room, but you're working with Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingo, rookie out of Ole Miss. Like they're not ready yet as far as their roster goes. Anthony Richardson, he had a concussion. He's shown that he's a legit dual threat, that's for sure. And he's been throwing some very good ball. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. He's been impressive, to say the very least. He's been impressive. I think when it comes to your old coordinators, they got the better. He got the better of the two. He's a good coach. I think that combo right there is going to be critical. They're going to grow something strong. I like what Richardson's showing in the Indy. And like we said, CJ Stroud, as of right now, I got him rookie of the year. I kind of thought we'd be seeing what we're seeing with Bryce Young with CJ just because of rosters.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, he can't get the ball out. He doesn't have the time. Just like a lot of flustery stuff. You can tell like Bryce Young is flustered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're not used to seeing.
You're never really used to seeing that from him at all. There's a lot of TV timeouts, and when the Panthers defense is on the field, they're zoomed in on Bryce's face, and he's just ripping the whole offensive unit, just like trying to get something out of them. And the shows like he's never gonna quit. He's one of those guys. He's the 1% type of players. He's not gonna go out sad. He refuses to, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time for the whole roster to be on that type of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll see. The rookies they're showing some promise though. Yeah. I think if you compare this class to Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, I think it's safe to say they're already above them as far as like, I don't know. I mean, Zach Wilson had a nice little game last night. I thought that the Swiftie sensation would bring a lot of good into the league, but I don't know, bro. I think we need to focus on football, bro. Football's the program at the end of the day. The football is the program at the end of the day. And I love Taylor Swift. Don't get me wrong, but we got to focus on the program. But I think this QB class is going to be worth talking about towards the end of the season.
I agree.
Let's keep it moving. Keep time rolling. I want to bring a couple of plays into the mix. We haven't done this in a while, man. Let me get my screen share going.
Oh, yeah.
We had some.
Oh, you ain't asked who's gonna be defensive rookie of the year though.
That's hard for me to say. Who do you have?
Jalen Carter. Dog. Dog. Them little
He's
slides and
nice.
angles, crazy. That
He's
kid
nice.
is special. He's gonna be special for a long time to come. He's gonna be the best defensive tackle in the league. You heard it here.
I like him. I like
He's
him.
gonna be at least number 2 Fletcher Cox type, but I don't think so. I think he's gonna be special. That kid he's a football player, and he's getting pressures. He's winning every rep almost on that field.
Mhm.
He's getting sacks. He's looking good. And shout out to Jordan Davis next to him. We drafted first round last year, also looking great. Great for the boys. But Jalen Carter, rookie of the year, or Witherspoon played amazing. If he
Yeah,
can continue on that, he can rival him. But I got Jalen Carter. I really do.
I like that.
The difference maker in our
I hate the fact that he's an Eagle, bro, because the fact that y'all were able to arguably get the best player in the draft last year is just insane. Um,
everybody hates it. I don't know
and
how.
you have him with, like you said, your guys' D line is so stout, bro. Like somebody's got the one-on-one and someone's gonna take advantage of it every time. Jalen's taking 2, maybe end up taking 3 by the end of the year, with all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely scary. It's definitely scary.
Yeah.
Let's get into these plays, man. I want to get this out of the way just because I'm tired. I'm feeling like I'm getting a lot of PTSD from
All these bombs.
our secondary is just not looking how we needed to, bro. And this play the other week was just absolutely ridiculous.